What's up everyone? We got a very special video. We're doing the unboxing and checking out some gameplay of the Arcade1UP Marvel vs. Capcom cabinet. Very special shout out to my mom. She helped me get this. We went 50-50 on it, but still thank you. So I'm really excited about this because this is my favorite fighting game franchises ever. So, and we're gonna go over some of the parts that came with it, the games that were included, and just kind of overall things I like and don't like, and hopefully things they can maybe do better on a future cabinet. So first of all, let's talk about the games included. It comes with Marvel Superheroes, Marvel vs. Capcom, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, and Marvel vs. Street Fighter. Oh, and Marvel War of the Gems. So this is actually part of two sets of Marvel vs. Capcom cabinets that they released. The other one was just the X-Men vs. Street Fighter cabinet that had a slightly different lineup of games. I know Marvel vs. Capcom and X-Men vs. Street Fighter were included in both. The other two games were, I think, X-Men Children of the Atom, and I can't remember the other one. I prefer this one. I prefer overall the look for it and the games included. So let's look at some of the parts that came with it. So first of all, the stool. The one I'm sitting on, and overall I like it. My only issue with it is that it only has the Marvel characters on it, not the Capcom, and you can make the argument that, oh, it's a pretty big picture and so that's why they couldn't, but I'm like, you could just use a smaller picture and put Capcom characters in there, but it's fine. Supposed to sit on it, not stare at it. We've got the panels here, which look great, and they feel nice. They feel like a nice quality. They don't feel like they're going to scratch or anything like that. Overall, I think the actual quality of the artwork is not fuzzy or anything like that. The lines look nice and crisp. I will say on the X-Men vs. Street Fighter one, the images are a little blurry because it feels like they kind of blew up an image a little too large. And you'll notice that the Capcom characters, since this is the Marvel side, are all kind of grayed out. I think it might have been hard to do, but I think I would have preferred if they would just kept the characters off instead of graying them out. That's just me. And then, let's see, try to put this back here without damaging it. And then we've got the Capcom side. So I will say that this, overall, this piece is one of my favorite bits of the Marvel vs. Capcom artwork in general, especially when it's together. It was actually my phone background for 6 months, or maybe it was 3 months, but either way, it's one of my favorite. Just I wish they would all still use it, even in Capcom or Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And then we've got the marquee. Obviously, we'll probably get a better look at this when we put it on and light it up. From what I've seen, it looks really nice. There's not any parts that seem brighter or anything than any of the other parts. And then got the riser, which I already built. And then I will say though, on the riser, the material feels different than what's on the side. It actually feels a little bit more delicate. I actually am a little worried about scratching it, or there's actually part of it that was a little nicked right here. Then we've got the actual board. So the top cover on it right now. My only complaint with this, it looks nice. I like the steel grate that they went with. My only complaint is the buttons themselves don't feel great. They don't have that signature click that you're looking for. And on top of that, the ridges of the buttons are a bit harsh. So if you're playing a while, it's actually going to be a little painful. But overall, I think it's fine. I don't look at these things as a dedicated, as a dedicated fighting thing. You get them for the novelty, and there are actually a lot of people mod them anyways, which I might do. I might try to just trade out some of the buttons as long as it's not too complicated a process. We're gonna look at the bezel and the actual monitor when we put it together, because those are interesting too. I have the specs for the monitor. I don't know off the top of my head, but when we look back at the gameplay for the games, we'll get that in there. But yeah, so we're going to build the rest of this, and then we're going to take a look at the gameplay and see it all put together. Hey everyone, we're back, and we've got the cabinet built. It looks great. The build process was pretty straightforward. You know, all you need is a Phillips head screwdriver for it. The only time I had a couple issues was in some of the placements of the screws, like underneath here or behind the marquee, where it's like if you have like a smaller screwdriver, it's probably best just to kind of fit its way in there. Other small bit was like there's a plastic film that they put over the bezel of the screen, and it kind of gets caught underneath the screws a little bit, so you'll have to like unscrew them if you're really nitpicky and want to get rid of them. Speaking of which, the bezel we didn't get to look at before. It's cool because it keeps with the steel grate look, but it also has some of the moves for the characters, which is really nice. Something I forgot to mention in the first part of the video too is that like all the Arcade1UP cabinets, they're the 3/4 scale, which is great because you know we live in an apartment and I don't think I want to try to lug a full-size cabinet up and down the stairs. The other thing too is that as far as the build quality goes, like I said, it's solid. This is one of their newer sets. I know, for instance, like their Miss Pac-Man one, I've seen some complaints about like some of the stuff's maybe not cut great, but this is one of their newer releases and everything fit together fine. The only thing I had an issue with is maybe on the bottom with the riser. It seems like you have to like create the holes for the riser. There's like the screws I didn't use, so it's kind of just set on here, but it feels sturdy, so I'm not too worried about it. And it's not like I have like anything like a pet or you know something that's gonna like run in, maybe like knock it over or anything like that. But yeah, no, it's great. Oh, the other thing too. So if you see on the front here, we've got, you know, it's a list of all the games, and this is kind of just how they do it for a lot of their cabinets. But I know with some of their newer ones coming out, not only are they changing their general shape, because all of them have this like same like curve, but they're kind of changing. They're changing to have more of a original arcade cabinet like design, so it looks closer to the originals. But also on the fronts, they're adding like these like fake token slots. I could go either way on it. I kind of like having the list of the games there. But with all that said, let's look at some of the games in here. I've got the volume off right now. This thing's actually pretty loud. Turn it up there. So right now we've got it, I think, just on Marvel vs. Capcom 1. But here, if you just hold down the player 1 button, it takes a few seconds, but it'll give you the option to switch out between the games. You want to leave? Yes. Also, I'm going to mention is that it has Wi-Fi capability, so you can play people online. I believe in it too, there's like a way to do like an Ethernet, like a USB to Ethernet kind of connection thing. So, like I said, it's got Marvel vs. Capcom, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes, and War of the Gems. I will say though, the real Marvel and the actual War of the Gems is not War of the Gems. Or I mean, the real gem, I shouldn't say, isn't War of the Gems. The gem is this game right here. Because fun fact, if you haven't, anyone doesn't know, this game's never really been re-released outside of its original like Sega Saturn and PlayStation port. And out of those two, the Sega Saturn is actually the better one, due to the fact that hardware limitations kind of kept the PlayStation from having it being a direct port. So we're gonna actually go in there right now because this one's the direct port of the game. So you can see in the PlayStation one, they had to cut out frame data and they had to switch it from a 2v2 tag game into a kind of 1v1 with an assist thing. And it doesn't run great. And the Sega Saturn version, like I said, it's the other better version, but the difference is that you have to play it on a Sega Saturn. Roster's great, so we're gonna go with that. And you know what? We'll go double X-Men here. So I think this cabinet is just great in terms of like kind of really showcasing that Marvel and Capcom can still work together, and hopefully we'll get, you know, an MVC 5, I guess in this case. Oh geez, Rogue. The other thing too, I forgot to mention, and you'll notice, is that Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is not on here, the probably favorite of the bunch. And I've read a couple of different things on it. A lot of it seems to have to do with the actual hardware used. Sorry. Yeah, a lot of it has to do with the hardware used, and also the fact that last year was last year was the 20th anniversary for MVC2, and I think they had something planned, but given the state of kind of the world and everything, it kind of may have delayed things. But you know, I guess I don't know if we'll ever know, but but anyway. So that's the only notable exception, and like I said, if you just hold down this for a few seconds, you'll be able to switch games. I'm gonna get out of that. Also, there's leaderboards, which is real fun. But overall, I think it's a great package for the price. Like I said, quality of the actual cabinet's great, and I'm really excited to have it. So if you get a chance to try to get your hands on one, like I said, they're a Best Buy exclusive. Just go on their website. Maybe I'll put a link in the description. But if you like these, if you want to see other stuff like this, like and subscribe. Thanks. See ya.
Ready. Fight! First attack! Solar cannon! Solar cannon! Solar cannon! Solar cannon! Level 2! Solar cannon! Solar cannon! Here's my grenade bag! Look on cannon! Solar cannon! Solar cannon! Here's my grenade bag! Level 2! Solar cannon! Solar cannon! Good! Go, buddy! Go, you! Captain is down. Ready. Fight! Ready. Fight!
Win. Select your hero. War machine. Captain Commander. Hero. First. Ready. Fight. First attack.
Here's my Sunday best. Look on,
Marvelous. Eliminated.
Let's go, buddy.
Win. Track. Select your hero. War machine. Captain Commander. Juggernaut. Ready. Fight.
Solar cannon. Solar cannon. Solar cannon. Solar cannon. Solar cannon. Here's my Sunday best. Look on, Solar cannon. Solar cannon. Here's my Sunday best. Look on,
Combo finish. KO.
Let's rock.
Win. Track. Select your hero. War machine. Gambit. Colossus. Ready. Fight.
Solar cannon. Solar cannon. Solar cannon. Solar cannon. Here's my Sunday best. Look on, here's my Sunday best. Look on, go, buddy.
Danger. Gambit. Win. Tonku.
Are you ready, true believers? Capcom and Marvel have joined forces once again to bring you in Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. Look, spectacular action! Don't miss out on the enjoyment of a lifetime. Feel sensational thrill! Don't miss the most amazing tag team fighting game ever. Are you ready for a new challenger? Let's rock! Experience Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. Are you ready, true believers? Capcom and Marvel have joined forces once again to bring you in Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter. Survive the adventure! Don't miss out on the enjoyment of a lifetime. Behold, amazing strategy! Don't miss the most amazing tag team fighting game ever. Are you ready for a new challenger? Victory! Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter! Choose your alter ego! Come on! Come and get me! Ready! Fight! Up the flat! Up the flat! Up the flat! Behold! Up the flat! Your turn! Come on! Come and get me! Ready! Fight! You're not mine! Do it! Up the sweep! Up the sweep! Up the flat! Up the flat! You're up! Up the flat! Behold! Up the flat! You're up! Behold, up the flat. You're on left. Up the flat. Behold, up the flat. Up the flat. Up the flat. Up the flat. Behold, up the flat. Up the flat. Your turn. You're not mine. 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 Let's rock! Shield flash. Shield flash. Shield flash. I'm unstoppable. Unstoppable!
No sweat.
I'm unstoppable!
JJ. I'm supreme.